So yeah, in today's video, let's talk about what if you're just starting a YouTube channel or any sort of social media venture, what camera should you buy? Like there would be a common, I think, saying in the world of YouTube, as well as anyone who you ask, they would say that the best camera is the camera that you have with you. That's true in the sense like it's better to shoot something than not having an ability to do so, but saying that the amount of quality content that's out there on social media now you cannot just use a old Samsung or an iPhone and justify or trust that that would be good enough. I'm not saying that's not possible. If your story is like quite good and whatever you're trying to share is valuable, it doesn't matter even if you're sharing just the audio of it. But if you're trying to get a overall package within a reasonable amount of money, this video would be perfect for that, because I'll tell you what camera I would recommend. And before that, let me quickly give you an intro about myself. My name's Amit, and I've started this channel called Be a Creator, which is this one. And I do have a couple of other channels, and one of the ones that's actually making some impact on the world is called EVs Undone, where I talk about my electric cars. Like this is a Tesla which I own since 2020, and that's when I started that channel. And not 2020, 2022 I started that channel, and I've just got monetized a couple of months back on that one. So I do have a good understanding of cameras, because for that channel I actually purchased a lot of cameras and sold them, because I love tech, and that's one of the things which drove me to buy more cameras than I should have. But right now I've gone through at least 6 or 7 Sony cameras, 2 Nikon cameras, and this one, the Lumix S9. And the one that I want to recommend is none of those. That would be this pocket-sized DJI Pocket 3. So I've used the Pocket 1, Pocket 2, and I bought the Pocket 3 because I knew this camera is so versatile that you can use it wherever you won't be able to use the bigger cameras. And the surprising part was, this took the entire social media market by a storm. Like it's everywhere you go, you would see these cameras now. Doesn't matter if you are posting or not, even if you're doing some sort of recording for your family, you just want to record some moments, you would see them with the travel, I think, vloggers, as well as even in studios, even in the events where new things are releasing. Like I've seen these popping up all over the internet, and whatever camera guide or the person you follow who gives you camera advice would not say much bad about it. And that's quite true, in the sense like if you were to just pick up a camera, you don't want to use your phone, then this would be the best camera you can buy to make almost every kind of content, apart from, I would say, anything which includes a bit of a rough usage, or using it in a weather or environment where it's subjected to rain, or for sure it's not underwater, you cannot do on it because it's not waterproof or weatherproof. In that case, you still have to go with something of the action camera market. But other than that, there's nothing which this camera cannot do. You plug it in your computer, you can use it as a webcam straight off the camera. You can use the camera to take a 16:9 ratio, which is the landscape video, as well as a vertical video for your channel. Like it does have 3K on that, but for shooting short style of content, which is like vertical, it's perfect. Like you don't need anything more than that. 3K is big enough for that as far as the resolution is concerned. And there's quite a few tricks which you can use to even record 4K if you're keen on using this camera for your vertical videos. You just tilt the camera and it gets locked in the way, so you still get 4K width, but you just have to tilt your footage in post and you still get 4K. But I don't even bother with that. Just keep the camera straight, use the vertical mode. 3K, that's good enough for your short content. You can use it for TikTok, Insta, whatever, right? And the best part about this camera, let me give you a couple of specs for this one before we move forward, right? So when it comes to spec, it comes with a 1-inch CMOS sensor, which to someone who doesn't know or understand that aspect, It's way bigger than what you have on your phone, which means it lets more light in the sensor, which would give you better performance in low light, consistent performance in the daylight as well. It does have face detect autofocus, which means you can get blurry background, as well as it can detect your face as well as track it. So the next big part about buying a DJI Pocket device is it does have active track ability, which means it can track your face or any object that you sort of point it to or ask it to track. Although that's debatable how good that is. Like as far as face tracking is concerned, if you're the only one in the scene, it tracks you quite well until as you just zipping around where it still struggles. But that's not a practical scenario for this sort of cameras. Like if you are into that sort of thing, you might as well buy a 360-degree camera from Insta360 and frame it later, because they are way better in tracking fast motion when it comes to such things. But the video quality of this is unbeatable when it comes to that sort of content. Like if you want to get a high quality result without too much hassle, then DJI Pocket 3 is unbeaten. Like some people also compared it with the ZV-E1, which is Sony's almost flagship sensor. And it's very hard to figure out which footage was DJI and which footage was from Sony. And that says a lot about how good the overall image that's coming out of this camera is. And it does have D-Log M, which is for sort of semi-professionals who want to color grade their footage. So it allows them to shoot in log, which is a sort of deranged from color footage, which you can add a LUT on to make it look natural, but you can stretch it a lot, because the next big part about this camera is it shoots in 10-bit colors, which means that you are recording almost 2.1 billion colors rather than 16 million colors if it was an 8-bit camera. The one that I have right now is a 10-bit camera as well, but the previous video which I shot on was a ZV-E10 Mark I that had a 8-bit color sensor, as well as I shot it at night on a kit lens. So that wasn't the best representation of what the camera is capable of. But if it was a 10-bit camera, I would have been able to push the shadows a bit to make the video more, I think, pleasing. So if you haven't checked it out, just check it out. If you haven't seen that one, just check it out as well. But coming back to the discussion, like you can get a lot of accessories which make this even more usable. Like the one that I have right now, this one's a magnetic case, which means you can put it against any magnetic material and it would stick there, and it will act as a tripod. So even if you're in the city trying to get a shot in a busy environment, I would rather have this camera rather than the bigger ones, because it's very easy to just disguise it or hide it behind a lamppost or things like that, and people don't notice it. And you can always have options like you can turn off the screen as soon as the video recording starts, or you can just see the framing and make it available that after 3 seconds the screen of the DJI Pocket 3 switches off, which is quite good. And there's heaps of other features like the screen flips. That's really cool. Like you just flip it and you can have an option to turn on the recording as soon as you flip it on. Like it's convenient as it can get. Like if you know you're going to be shooting something which is needing you to be on the edge of, I don't want to miss something, then having that feature to just flip the screen to start recording is just perfect. So if you're doing a talking head, if you're doing daily vlogs, if you're doing any sort of travel documentary, you can use this camera easily. And the other, I think, accessory that I would recommend you to get it if you're considering this camera is just get a creator kit combo. In that it comes with a extended battery handle, as well as it comes with a mic, which is a DJI Mic 2. And the best part about that combo is it connects to this camera wirelessly, and it gives you almost 200 meters of range. And all the volume, all the voice, not volume, all the voice is transferred via the Bluetooth or Wi-Fi interface that the camera is using, which allows the camera to record that audio seamlessly. And it does support 32-bit float. So again, for someone who doesn't understand what a 32-bit float is, it means like if somewhere down the line, if you were by mistake or intentionally or unintentionally speaking too loud and the voice was clipping, like it was too loud for your microphone to pick it up, usually the mic will clip it, which means you would just hear a loud noise and not understand what the person is trying to say. But if you have 32-bit float, in post you can bring it down to the level that you are able to retrieve or the actual volume or what was trying to be conveyed, like what the person was trying to convey. And in that sense, 32-bit internal float is always welcome. And I'm glad that it's under $1,000, the entire combo. You can buy it for, and that's Australian. So if you're in the US, obviously it's, I believe it's even cheaper. And for that price, it's been out for almost 2 years now. I believe I picked up mine in October 2023. And I literally picked up the day after it was released. So I didn't even wait for the reviews to flow through or whatever. I knew I would love this camera because I liked the DJI Pocket 1. And this was just a success. As soon as I saw that this was coming with a 1-inch sensor, with a flip screen, which is big enough for me to see and make the composition better, I was convinced that this is something which I would pick up. But I'm quite pleasantly surprised with the footage that you get out of this camera. And that brings me to the point of like, who should not get it? Like, I understand I'm saying that this is the best camera. If you want to pick it up as a new content creator, you can make a lot of videos from this, and it will fit most of the scenarios. But coming to who shouldn't pick this camera would be, the first thing is like, if you want to convert or use the camera as a professional, as a business, or wants to go out to meet the clients and do those sort of photo shoots or take videos of your clients or any sort of that work, then this would look unprofessional, which would make it sort of a good B cam. Like if you want to record something of the environment, you want to do it in that way, that's perfect. You can use it as your secondary backup camera, but not as a, like, you wouldn't get paid much if you use this camera as your main camera, is what I'm trying to say here, right? And but there's nothing wrong in it. It's just that the perception of the person who's hiring you to do the client work, they would be more comfortable if they see you with a big camera rig, which does have multiple things, right? And that's a fact. Like, it's not everyone understands that this would give you even better footage or more stable footage most of the times. But none of that matters when it's a client job, right? And the other thing is, like, if you want to actually learn the art of videography, then you would need something more versatile rather than just a fixed lens camera. Although this comes with a wide angle adapter, and with the recent update, you can actually use the default camera and switch it to a 45mm lens, so 40mm lens. But that doesn't come anywhere close to the flexibility that you get with the interchangeable lens camera like this one, the one that I'm using. Because the lens that I'm using currently, it's a 28 to 200. Let me show you how much it can zoom, right? So that's the quality you get from a zoom lens. And if you know how to use well and prime lenses on these cameras, you would be able to get the quality of a movie essentially. Like you wouldn't even be able to differentiate, like if you're watching a Netflix documentary or is it something of your own work, you can get that much level of quality from the lenses these days from manufacturers like Lumix or Sony or even the third-party manufacturers. So that's where this DJI Pocket 3 lags a bit behind, because obviously you cannot change the lens on it. And as I discussed earlier, if you're trying to do anything which makes you more vulnerable to the environment, if you cannot place this camera in a sort of semi-safe environment, then it's not something which I would recommend as well, because it does have a mechanical gimbal, which means it's prone to breaking or damage more than the action camera would be, even more than what the Lumix S9 would be. Because with this, all I have that can break off easily is the flip screen, which I use to make the composition. But other than that, like even if if I drop this from the same height as that one, I'm assuming this would be a bit more safer, especially if you have a cage or something like that on it. With the DJI Pocket 3, there's no option to obviously put a cage on it, and it beats the point. But it's light enough for you to be able to mount it to your car or do other things with it. Like, that's not a concern, but it's not as versatile, it's not as, I think, solid when it comes to action cameras and other things. So yeah, that's my take on DJI Pocket 3. Let me know if you own a DJI Pocket 3 and how you use it. And there's heaps of things which you can do with this camera. Like there's a bit of a learning curve as well. It's not as easy as the other cameras where, as your phone maybe, because you've been using it for a while, it's easy for you to see and even capture good on your phone. But when it comes to DJI Pocket 3, the screen's small enough sometimes you feel that you might not be getting the footage that you actually would get. But trust me, just copy the footage in your computer and see it on a bigger screen, and you would know that this camera beats everything else that comes on the same price, even double the price of that.